hunting armor that I always wanted had knockout.
Oh,
that was the easiest thing to do to get a bunch of knockout skills.
That makes sense.
So I was like, give me the deal.
Out! Out!
I'm sorry, Curtis.
Get out from underneath the table.
So I got that one. So I'm waiting on the Monster Hunter Kickstarter. I'm waiting on an Actually Kickstarter.
Actually?
Yeah, so it's a college humor game show that they made where it's like a Jeopardy style game show where they read an incorrect statement.
Oh, and
you say actually.
You say actually and then correct the statement.
Holy shit.
So the statement is something like, in Legend of Zelda, the titular Zelda like wields the Master Sword and whatever, and you'd be like, actually, Link wields the Master Sword, Zelda's the princess,
dude,
whatever.
that's perfect.
Yeah. And so I kickstarted that. That one should be. Both of those should be coming out relatively soon. The only other one that I kickstarted about
a very, very long time ago.
I was still in college.
Yep, a very long time ago.
I think we're on 3 or 4 years of waiting. Right?
That's child's play. I kickstarted something back in 2016. Still hasn't shipped. And best part, they're still updating.
What? Okay. So
yeah.
At least they're still alive.
It was a comic, and the art is still updating. And for like the past 3 years, his update's been, our writer's fucking slow. Like, we keep yelling at our writer, but he's fucking slow at writing.
It was the first thing.
I can't draw anything till I know what the fucking story is.
That's funny.
Fair.
It was.
And then his most recent update is, I have the story. I'm gonna fucking draw it now.
All right. Fair
it
enough.
was the first thing I ever kickstarted. Right. Campaign. Let's see when this thing dropped. Because I want to say it was around 20. I don't think it was 2016. But anyways, it is a psionics expansion for Starfinder.
Okay.
Right? And I was like, all right, these guys, they do a lot of supplements for D&D and stuff like that. So I was like, I'll buy the psionics
that way hopefully
thing,
it's,
and then I'll check it out and I'll see if it's balanced and then maybe implement it in the games. Let's see. So I'm trying to figure out when I kickstarted. But anyways, kickstarted it a long time ago. Mm-hmm. We finished our sci-fi campaign. Yep. Still did not get anything.
Oh really?
And he went. So
this was during the fucking.
I kickstarted it before the campaign.
Oh my god!
And you still got it after the campaign.
Even after the campaign, and I might get an update by the time I start the next campaign.
Shit. Yeah. During the middle of the campaign, you'll just get a boom, and then all of a sudden, expansion added.
Dropped.
That'd be sick.
Fully funded April 19th, 2018. It is when I funded it.
Yep.
Right? April 2018. Total, it has had 25 updates in 4 years. Which is garbage.
That's
because every
really much,
other Kickstarter that I've ever funded, it has been 2 to 3 updates a month.
Yeah, they always try to do at least once a month.
Okay, well you see, on the 6-year Kickstarter I did,
once a month, it's
it was fairly regular, and then it just stopped. And then 6 months later there was an update. And then 6 months later there was another update. We're still here, we're still working on it, I swear we didn't.
Yeah.
And finally after 3 years, they're just alright, this is going to take a while. If you guys want a refund, we'll give you a refund.
Okay, so just for reference, the They Live game that I funded and I've gotten it. I funded it back April 30th, 2020. They had 55 updates total over 2 years.
Over 2 years. That's pretty good.
And I have my stuff.
That's really more than once a month.
Yeah. The other guy.
Well, that's actually the crazy thing. It was 55 all in 1 month, and it didn't update until then.
Right.
It was
right at the end.
It was 1 and then 54 at the end. We got it, bitches. I bet you forgot about us.
So, side note, how would you guys feel about playing a board game about assassinating the president?
Get this out! Get this
You just
out!
said it was Christian's favorite statement ever.
Go on.
I really wish you wouldn't say it like that, like quotation marks. What the
So
fuck?
he said you
Board
have to
game.
play board.
If you just said board game, you know, it'd be okay.
About
I
assassinating
don't
the
think Christian
president.
cares either way though.
Okay, look. So in 3 years, Joe Biden is gonna be. The president is gonna be at this street. It was like a diorama, and I was like, yeah, let's play this board game.
Yeah. So and the country.
Station here, and here.
So in the country of Marika,
what an interesting
the president Baldwin is
The president, Joe Biden, or
John Baldwin.
John. What do I keep calling him? I call him Bob Jiden. That's what.
Bob Jiden.
Whenever I talk about it, I'm like, what's his fucking name? Bob Jiden. Yeah, there we go. Bob Jiden is here.
So there's a Kickstart that I was looking at doing, but I'm not sure if I want to do it. It's only going to be active for a couple more days. But it is for minis.
Ooh.
And it's from my favorite book series.
Those normally are pretty successful.
What's your favorite series? Mine is Brown Bear.
Stormlight
Brown Bear.
Archives.
Okay, yeah, that's way better than what I had.
Yeah, Brown Bear sucks!
Oh, isn't that the series about all the cats and they're all like of different tribes and stuff?
No,
No, that's Guardians.
No, it's the Warrior series.
Damn it, I was close.
So
Really
some of
close.
them will be painted, and you can buy like the different pledge levels give you like different amounts, and everything gives you the
Oh.
previous ones, and so you can buy like pre-painted ones, and then they got like some big ones like that one. So I can use that one as like monsters and shit.
God
Stuff like
damn.
minis?
Yeah.
That looks sick as hell.
Yeah.
Those are like
And as
pretty
it's
successful.
gotten more
Yeah.
money, the updates that they've released have basically been like, so we got more money, so we're going to also release this guy, and he just gets added
Just
into
like
one of
stretch
these
goals,
tiers,
yeah.
and then they're like, oh, we got to this amount? Cool. That means that we're going to make it out of better material, and I was like, that's fucking cool.
That's really cool.
Like, they just released these 2 design reveals, like within the past like week.
Wow.
And what's interesting is like this is the first, I guess, like depiction of some of these characters.
Oh, nice.
Period. And so
The book doesn't even describe what they look like.
well, so the book describes what they look like, right? But like, you know, the book will have like cover art and shit like that.
Uh-huh.
But it's
let me
normally
go blood
just
jump
for
in real
like
quick.
most of like the main characters, or like some of the main characters, depending on
Right.
which book it is.
Okay.
And so some of these characters, like they've been side characters, but they're slowly like taking on more and more like a role. And
Is
so
the
like
book
you've
series
never
still
seen
going?
it. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It is on book 4 or 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're the giant ones. They're these ones. They're like the dictionaries that I'm looking at.
I thought those were
I think you were just reading
dictionaries.
dictionaries, dude. Yeah, I love the character mesothelioma.
So these are the first 4 books that have been released.
Oh,
Holy
Jesus.
shit.
Those are fucking huge. What the hell?
Those aren't books. Those are textbooks.
So when I say dictionary, that's what I mean by
They
dictionary.
literally are the size of
You
a
opened up to about a quarter of the way, and I think it was
Yeah.
already page like 200.
Yeah, exactly.
That's at 400.
Oh, what?
It has over 1,000. This is
Yeah.
1,200, and it's not the end yet.
Jesus
But yeah,
Christ.
so
Okay,
like,
now my next question is, do you actually read the book, or do you just do what I do and I buy the book for aesthetics and then just buy the audio book as
so
well?
I've listened to the
That's so
audiobooks
smart.
and I read all the
Yeah,
books.
why don't I do
That's
that?
what I do. I buy the book,
Both.
and then I use my one.
He then also, when he's
Audible-
laying on the couch, just uses them to fucking just wait.
Yeah, like I get
I mean,
the Audible.
honestly, if you hold all of them,
Every
yeah,
time I get the
I
Audible
mean,
credit. Sometimes I like to play the audiobook while I have the physical book in hand and pretend like someone's reading it
it's
to
like
me.
so exciting to you, like we're back in like elementary school. It's like you're at a book club or some shit too.
Yeah, it's like my teacher's reading me a book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman, can you
At
read me a
this point-
bedtime story?
At this point, I think I've read all but the very last one.
Chapter 22.
Just because the very last one is so big and I just haven't had enough time, like
I
time
guess
to
Samuel
sit there and read
Jackson,
it. But
and
I've
you
read all
go
the
the
other
fuck to
ones.
sleep.
But
That's
yeah,
still my
he's
favorite
starting on the 5th one. It's supposed to be 10 books in the series.
Woo, my god.
No, he's prolific. This is like his 3rd book series. It's gonna be like 10 books.
Oh wow.
And
Oh my
he's-
God.
He just rotates between them. So he's about to release the next Mistborn book, which is book number 7 for that series, which is interesting how he's doing it, because what he said when he finished like the first 3, because like it was like a trilogy, right? It was start to finish, ended.
I'm gonna release this trilogy,
good, right?
Psych! I got 7 more, bitch.
Yeah, no. So he finished it, and then he released like a little like blog thing, and he was like, so that was the first arc of the first trilogy of trilogies for this series.
That was the
like,
world
trilogy
setup.
of trilogy. What the fuck?
That was just world building.
Well, no, it's what he's doing, which I think is kind of interesting, is he did build that world, right? Gave it some like unique magic system, all that shit.
Yeah.
But the very first one is set kind of like fantasy times, right? You know, swords, bows, that kind of shit, right? The next one, Wild Wild West.
Hell yeah!
Magic system.
Hello.
Everything's fucking different though, because it's like one of the magics that you can use. Basically, they call it like burning metals, and so certain people are born with either allomancy or like alchemy or some shit. And so some people, if they like pierce themselves with certain metals, they can like store physical attributes and then pull those out at different times. And so one of the main villains, he
just fucking shoots himself in the head.
Well, he basically couldn't die because he was whatever it was, like the metal that he could use was gold.
Mm-hmm.
And so he spiked himself with gold all through the place, and gold lets you store physical healing, like health in it. And so he stored a fuck ton of health. And then when he came out and just started murdering people, they'd like shoot him in the head and his wound just close up. And they're like, fuck, how do we kill him? And it's like, we can't remove the metal spikes from him.
And then he would just say,
gonna kill us. And so
I like gold.
They had,
I was thinking the same thing. I like gold. My pinky is the key.
So that's a very unique and different kind of like magic system in it. And part of it, like the people that are called Mistborn, because that's kind of like the series name, they're people that can use any of the metals for the allomancy. And so they have like iron and shit like that. And I think iron lets you like push on metal whenever you're burning it, and then something else, steel lets you like pull on metals. And so it changed the setting a lot, because in like the fantasy kind of setting, right? It was like, oh, okay, if the swords come out and you can like push it or pull it, like redirect and shit like that. And in this one, it's like, yeah, so this guy's a gunslinger, and half the time he doesn't even use his gun. He just makes himself stupid fucking heavy and just pushes against a bullet, and he's just so massive that the bullet goes off at Mach 4 through the building. And
Jesus
I'm like,
Christ.
what? You know?
That's funny.
Like, it's a completely different
Yeah,
take.
he's a bullet bender.
And then he said that for the third arc, it's going to be sci-fi.
That's pretty
So
cool.
same like fantasy magic system, but it's just going to be even further in that
My
world's
question
future.
is though, you said it's 10 books and 3 trilogies. That's 9 books.
Yes, he's
What's the
already
10th
said.
book?
So he already.
So the
said
3 trilogies are actually all just world building.
No.
The 10th book is going to be a 10,000 page book, which
So-
is the actual story.
So he originally said it was going to be a trilogy, right? So 9 books in total. And then he got into this one right now that he's doing, which is the Midwestern one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, it's not going to be a trilogy of trilogies because I'm going to write one more book in this setting.
No, in the Wild West
the Wild
one?
West one,
Okay.
yeah. So the 4th book of the Wild West one is when he's about to release, which is going to be 7 books in total now for the series.
Gotcha, okay.
And like a lot of shit changes, you know, all the main characters change in between the trilogies and shit, so it's different. You know?
I was imagining the 10th book just to be, fuck it, all these 3 settings combined.
Dude, that would be interesting.
All these settings combined, and now they're all like, oh, plot twist. It's not 3 separate timelines.
It's the same timeline.
3 different continents. They found out about each other. They're gonna fuck each other up.
Man, I feel bad for whoever the sci-fi peoples are going after because they're out there with fucking like railguns and shit, probably.
It's like, it's a really short book, guys.
Yeah. So the sci-fi guys, they got like satellites with laser beams in the sky, and the other guys, they got like swords. So yeah.
Oh, this book is pretty short. Oh, it's only 5 pages long.
Makes sense.
All right, well.
They're all dead.
Well, the thing is like, dude, he writes at just a prodigious fucking rate, and he's just prolific in how much he writes. Like that book series that I brought out, right? Those 4. He's written little like novellas, I think is what they're called, where it's almost like little like
short
interludes
stories.
or like short stories. Just
They're
to-
also 600
to
pages
give-
long.
to give like more information on characters, and it's good. And I think I have like 1 or 2 of them. I read them because it gives like more background information. Because like he'll have like interludes in the actual book, right, where I'll talk about like other characters that aren't important yet, but like he wants you to know about them, what they're doing, because it slowly builds up to them being important, like how they're getting now.
Yeah.
But so that's why what he wrote those little like novellas and shit for was to give more information on it and about like where they were and how to like connect some of the dots that might not have been clear enough in the book. And so like in total for just the Stormlight shit, he probably has like 7 or 8 like books, like published works for it, and 4 of them are books and therefore like novellas and other shit. It's just it's wild, man. The amount that this man writes, he just doesn't stop. He writes one thing, he goes to the next thing.
He's trying to pull a
That's
Tolkien.
good. That's his job. Yeah.
It's like everyone's trying to pull a Tolkien out.
Dude,
right?
honestly, he probably would write more than Tolkien. He finished The Wheel of Time. Do you know what The Wheel of Time is?
What do you mean he
So-
finished it? Like he he finished
The
off the Wheel of Time?
Bad
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Amazon show.
Yes, it is. It is.
That is nothing
But that's-
else.
But that's more because Amazon.
Because that's
Because
a
Because
bit
Amazon
unfair.
shit.
I don't think Amazon was around for Tolkien to watch Wheel of Time.
Right. Well, so The Wheel of Time is, I think it's 13 books in total, and
Good God.
I always thought it was like
That
in
long.
20 books. I thought it was
they're
longer.
pretty big.
Really?
The books aren't as big as those that I showed, but they're still pretty beefy. And the reason that it's so long, it should have only been about 10 books, but the author was so old when he started it, or I guess when he got to like book 8, that you could tell he was losing his fucking mind and he was just rambling. And he died after book 10. And he gave all of his notes and everything to Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson took all that information and broke it into 11, 12, and 13 and finished the series. And like the quality, like the first like 5 books in the whole time, great. Then it's like books 6, 7, and 8 are like, this is going downhill. The books 9 and 10, you're just like, what am I reading? And then book 11, you're like, holy shit, there's structure to the storyline. Thank Jesus!
And then book 11, right?
Yeah, 11, 12,
Book 11 was
13,
like, hey, we just found out that there's a huge gas leak in the entire universe, and that's why everything was fucked. That was Community.
That was
Yeah.
That was in Community.
That's right.
Where all
There's
the weird
a
seasons,
gas
or like the
leak.
season that Dan Harmon left, it was like, oh, there was a gas leak. That's why this season was shit.
Mhm.
Anyways, here I'm back now, and it's good again.
That's so fucking funny.
But yeah, dude,
I need
he's
to rewatch
written
Community.
so many fucking books already, and he's got a 3rd series. I think it's also going to be a long-term series.
What's that one?
And
What's
that
the
one is a
second
sci-fi series,
Mm.
and it's kind of
That's going to become a Wild West series. That's going to become a fantasy
That would
series.
honestly be pretty
Let's
dope.
get up.
But,
Yeah.
That series
They
is
like-
more.
World War III will be, fought with sticks and
There's
stones.
tea in there, and I think there's some like Sprites, maybe some Dr Peppers up at the top, like the little mini ones.
There's A&W
Okay,
and 7-Up.
Yeah.
Take an
But so that book series, he's only written 3 books for it so far. But it's sci-fi. But it's sci-fi weird. It's more like sci-fi cytonics. It's like the power system is like more like cytonics and shit.
Oh, I love One Punch.
And so,
No.
like the perspective on it is strange because the way I guess that it is like the universe is terrified of these like more powerful beings that reside in this realm that's almost like in between realms. Like whenever they do like a wormhole jump, right? They enter the realm of those more powerful beings. And
So the warp.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
That is just
And
how.
so
Yeah.
Please don't look at us. Please don't look at us.
no, that is a lot of it, right? And
That's just
those,
like the warp,
those
you're right.
beings, their whole like power setup is all cytonics, and that realm that they exist in between is like a cytonic realm. And so there was this like massive war that humanity had like perpetrated or perpetuated or
Pepperidge
whatever.
Farms, yes.
Started, yeah. Pepperidge Farm remembers. He was there.
He was there.
But so the rest of the galaxy more or less like hates humanity because the rest of the galaxy is all like trying to be peaceful and shit and stuff like that because they don't want to like like make too much noise. That's like the big thing. Like even like radio signals and shit like that can piss off these like beings that can hear it.
Right.
But cytonics are like the biggest thing that piss them off. And humans, for some reason, more of them are born with cytonics just naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of that war was like they were basically telling humans like you need to cull your cytonic people so that this shit doesn't happen. Humans were like, we'll cull you instead. Fuck off. And so they entered into this massive war. Yeah, basically. So they entered into this like massive war, right? And this book takes place after it. And what happened is there was like a couple different like groups of humans on planets who were like essentially like fleeing from the war. And they let those groups live, but they turned those planets into like prison planets. And anytime that the humans start to get evolved enough to
Space
look like
Australia.
spaceships or like anything that can go into space, they
Space
just
Broncos.
destroy the shit out of them. Like they put like a population limit on it, and they watch them, and they'll just kill them off and kill them off. And so the main character is on one of those planets, and that's like Like the whole first book is about them like trying to make like a space force that they could use to then fight their way into space, and then they're like, "Yo, there's a whole galaxy out here. Isn't this shit wild?" And then they start finding out more and more about like why and all that other shit. But
they're like, man, we should really make a lot of radio signals right now.
yeah, no, well that's what they're. That's
Oh
what they're
boy, I
terrified
can't
about.
I can't wait to get on my radio right now and see what my favorite whatever is doing.
It was like
By the
10 billion radios suddenly turned on, and were suddenly silenced.
those creatures or whatever though, they're kind of weird. Like it's gotten into them a little bit because I think in book 2 or book 3, one of them entered the world because the main character is Titanic, and it kept like following her.
Oh,
and then finally she pissed it off enough to where it just fucking ripped its way into their universe, just started murdering like planet after planet after planet after like 5 or 6 planets are gone
I
now.
wonder how much Warhammer this guy played.
Too much.
You know,
Maybe.
a lot of it's pretty like
I don't know,
not
the
like
magic
not
systems
like
are pretty
one to one.
He also might have liked the movie Event Horizon too much.
Dude, that movie's good.
Shit, I mean, who doesn't like Event Horizon though?
Movie was terrifying when I first watched it.
Yeah.
I was like a kid.
It's been a while. Since
I haven't seen it in a
It's
long ass time,
good ass
but-
movie.
Shit, that's what I should watch. Because I've been watching like Halloween movies like ever since
I don't know if I
October
call that a
started.
Halloween movie.
But I've been
I mean,
gory slash scary movies.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
literally
That was
busts
all
into
one.
hell with a black hole.
Because I don't think
Well,
like
you don't ever really even see him go into hell.
You don't even see hell.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't go in. Well, or is it she? I don't remember who the main character is. But they don't go into hell.
Yeah, but the ship
ship
is gone
does.
to hell, yeah. And the
It's
ship's
a-
basically like
it's a
sentient
girl,
at
I
this
think.
point.
Well, it's
Yeah.
demon possessed.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's actually a 40K prequel.
Wouldn't be surprised if he died.
You know, and like, yeah, even if you
Wait
said
a
that, I
minute.
wouldn't be surprised.
Wait a minute. All these sci-fi writers really like Ford. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But real quick,
Well, okay, it's like how every fantasy writer just rips off Tolkien. Every sci-fi writer just rips off 40K.
40K, yeah.
Yeah, this guy has not
Wouldn't be
ripped off
surprised.
Tolkien at all, which
That's
is
good.
kind of cool.
Which is good, yeah.
He made his whole ass own race in that Stormlight Archive
Tolkien?
series.
He just ripped off Tolkien by making his own
yeah.
ass race.
Yeah,
Whoa.
by doing something original, he ripped off Tolkien the most.
Tolkien technically made like all the races
He made,
in there.
he only made the only thing that Tolkien made was orcs, and I think I looked it up the other day. This right now. He made orc. He stole the name orc, or he
Yeah.
shortened it from something else.
Didn't he also make
But-
hobbits?
I don't think he made hobbits, but I think
I thought he made
I think hobbits came from like previous lore.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay,
Like-
I think like hobbits,
Yeah,
elves,
they would be-
dwarves,
they would be
like
like
there was
leprechauns.
previous stuff, but the way he interpreted it, like dwarves being like underground, like Nire stuff, like
Yeah,
no,
all
dwarves
that
just
stuff.
short people,
And-
or like how hobbits were like like oh,
And his
talk to them more,
very
I'll kill ya.
semantic views that made the whatchamacallit, the fucking goddamn the dwarves. So I mean, you know, he's a little
We don't talk
They
about
were
that.
very
We
semantic,
don't talk about that.
you
But
know.
so, in the
Isn't
Stormlight
that like a
Archive,
name
and they're a
cat,
hero. Like you're saying, he's an anti-Semite when the Jew's the hero.
Yeah, and it's not like his cat was named anything like derogatory. Okay, so he's okay.
Yeah,
it's not like
yeah.
Cthulhu.
H.P. Lovecraft.
he thanks Lovecraft.
Okay, but technically that was his father's cat.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it technically was his father's cat.
That's great. You can still rename animals. It's not like they know
I can
your name.
understand there's some
I think-
sentimentality.
I think after an animal has responded and learned something for so long, it's hard to rename it.
With-
but I do get,
You
you can.
It's a cat, though.
Takes,
It's a cat.
It
It doesn't
never
really
responds
have
to
to
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter. It's, a
It's
cat.
like, hey, look,
Yeah.
you're gonna feed me whenever the fuck I want you to feed me. So
More or less,
yeah, I don't
yeah.
care what
It's
you
true.
call me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Cats might have been more, better behaved back then.
What was it?
Yeah, because the morphine.
Just little.
They were all strung out, and it's like, oh, here's the little nighttime
There you
medicine.
go.
Speaking of morphine, so I've been seeing a lot of Joe Rogan shorts for some reason.
Oh.
Dude,
What
I'm
the
getting
fuck?
a lot of Joe Rogan shorts too. Joe Rogan and that something Peterson. I think.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, I did-
I'm glad we have the same YouTube
I
account.
don't know why.
But anyways, did you know that Hitler was like super methed out during the Olympics?
I would not be surprised.
Like, there's videos of him at like the 1936 Olympics, just like
I also
Jesus.
got that. Yeah, he was like, they were.
he was
strung.
tweaking hard.
I
Like-
also saw that Joe Rogan,
Yeah,
that exact
exactly.
Joe Rogan clip. Just Hitler just Yeah, just like
Just like, is he rubbing a gun against his junk?
That's probably why he was like, he was like, damn, I can't believe we lost, but goddamn that meth.
It's like, let me go to my soldier.
my meth pill. Oh shit, that was the cyanide pill. No. Speaking of cyanide, no, I'm just kidding. So my thing finally loaded. So
Jesus Christ, that took a while.
It's been loaded for a little bit. We're
Okay.
talking about this. For that Kickstarter that I kickstarted.
Yeah.
This has been the timeline of updates as
Okay.
far as it will let me go back, which is September 2018.
Okay.
So I think that was still a couple of. This is update 16. September 6, 2018. Update 17. January 15th, 2019. So a good
Couple months.
A few
Couple
months.
months. And then March 6, 2019.
Okay. So it's like once every couple months.
Every like 3 or 4 months.
So May 2019. And then it jumps from May to August.
Okay.
Every one of these updates, he's like, hey, a lot of shit going on, a lot of personal stuff, dealing with it. Don't worry
it's
about
that
it.
guy.
It's that guy, yeah.
Mm.
And then he's like, I'm gonna start doing monthly updates. August to September, we got a monthly update. And then September to February.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, that's how the months go.
He did it
August, September, February.
Yeah, February, and then
Don't you know the
August.
6 months of the year? Duh.
And then so February 2020, and then jumps to August 2020, and then September 2020. So August to September,
He's
every
on it.
time
Hey, he's
August.
good August, September.
Those are his monthly.
Something is not going wrong for him those months.
So this is September 2020. Radio silence for 2 years. Every now and again, I go to the comments just to see like
How pissed off people are.
who's still around.
Just making friendships with
every
people who's
time-
waiting with the fuck.
Basically, every time it's like, man, fuck this. I don't even play Starfinder anymore. I'm playing Pathfinder 2 now because Pathfinder 2 didn't exist
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
kickstarted
Yeah.
this. It was like I completely switched like
Games, yeah.
game systems. Like I don't even care about this thing. Everyone's like, want my fucking money back. We contacted Kickstarter. Kickstarter has no control over refunds.
Yeah, no.
Like
Yep.
the person has to give you the refunds.
Yep.
Right. And I remember I commented on it and I said, and it was right around, it was in April because it was coming up on the 3-year anniversary. And so I commented, I was like, is anyone doing anything special for our 3-year anniversary? And like a bunch of people were like, LOL, like fuck this dude, like just fuck this guy. And then I'm sitting at work and I get an update from Kickstarter and it was September 23rd, 2022 and it was the path forward. And I was like, this dude's alive? I thought he fucking died. And I
Okay,
was like,
how bad would it have been if the reason he had an update was because he was fucking dead? And
I
everyone's
would-
just like, fuck that
like,
guy.
this dude, yeah. But like,
What if he was like, I've been in the hospital for 2 years, guys?
that,
I've been fighting off like, terminal
I've had
brain
cancer.
AIDS.
yeah, like literally he could have said anything, but like at that point, every update he did, every couple of months was like, hey, sorry, like we're taking care of my sick grandma. Hey,
Yeah.
sorry, I had to like
Yeah.
put 2 weeks of PTO at my other job so I can focus on this. And hey, sorry, it was like every time.
You can tell that he has some shit going on.
Or just doesn't, and he was just like,
Just making shit up.
excuse,
Yeah.
and that's what it felt like at some point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's like while you're taking care of your sick grandma, you could have like been writing or drawing while like she's on the shit or something.
Yeah, so,
Well, and I assume that for a Pathfinder kind of thing, like you need to do some playtesting too, and so like
No, you
should
don't.
be doing it with other people
Eventually-
too, to make sure that
eventually
I assume it would have been a group, not an individual.
we got a really shittily formatted play test. And it was just like a Google Docs, and so if you opened it in anything except for Google Docs, all the formatting fucked up, and like all the tables, like
Yeah, that's
it was
not
like
reassuring
table
at all.
on like the table for the first half and then the second half of the page, so it was like horribly formatted. But I was like, at least
At least you have
we
something.
have something.
Yeah, exactly.
I am not going to look at it because it is so horribly formatted, and I don't want to deal with
something.
it. But you delivered something, and then the update. This update was like, hey, I'm not going to give any excuses. I'm sorry. If you want a refund, I can do a partial refund. because we've already paid out artists, we've paid out like other people. So like I don't have all of the money. If
But
you want a refund,
give you back what I have.
yeah, like if you want a refund, I totally understand. We give you a partial refund. Send me your PayPal, Venmo, whatever. We'll make it work. You know, for those of you who are like,
And you charge them more money.
Is still willing to like continue. You know, like I can't give you a path forward right now.
Yeah.
Because like I need to figure out how much work still needs to be done. But you know,
Puppers?
I'll give you a path forward. You know, once I have one. And I was like. I was talking to Teresa, she's like, you can get a refund, and I was like, fuck no. I put $60 into this like 4 years ago. I'm here for the long run. I'm getting my goddamn hardcover book.
See, that's the only thing that I'm uncertain about with this Kickstarter that I'm looking at doing for those minis. Is like if I get the minis, yes, I'll have a use for them because we could use them for this, like for Pathfinder or whatever. But most of the value in it would come from being like a collectible, and it's expensive to get those minis. Like I think the first one was like $30 or $60, and then it goes up to like $30 per increment.
Per set, yeah.
And it's like I get it, but there's only so many that can become painted, so most of them come unpainted, and I'm like I don't really want to paint them, and the ones that come, they're the ones that you get painted are more expensive, and I'm just like, is it really worth it? Like it'd be cool to have it,
I think they're cool.
but I just don't know if I really want to spend like $100.
See, what you should do.
Like
You should get into Warhammer.
I
You should get into Warhammer.
spend
Curtis.
$200.
$200 to get one box.
Actually, what you really should do is get into Battle Maze 50,000.
Never
I've
heard
seen
that
some of
shit.
those movies. I think I've seen
Well,
some.
you see, Battle Maze 50,000, it's very similar to Warhammer 40,000, but it's not copyrighted. And it's, all you can do is you need to buy a 3D printer, and then for free, you can just download all the files for Battle Maze 50,000. They have things like the Dreadmore, which is, you know, just a big robot where you know, soldiers are captured after die.
Definitely not powered by the souls of the damned.
Oh no! It's a dreadnought.
Not this time.
Or the
Which puppers?
Interstellar Marines.
But if you really wanted, Curtis, you didn't want to like fish out all the money on that Kickstarter, you can just go to Hero Forge, and it's like, look, this is what that guy looks like. But Hero Forge has gotten like so much more expansive now. You can absolutely just like, oh, this is definitely my OC, not the character from the book that I like. And then get him a little die-cast mini model.
Well, and see, and that's part of the reason I'm thinking about
Do
not
they do
doing
metal
it.
now?
Because really, I wouldn't really have a use for it other than for this.
so, yes.
And like, it just doesn't. It's not worth all the money.
That's what I don't get. I don't get why like a lot of these places and things like they don't try to like set the price point lower so they just sell more, because it costs them next to nothing to print the fucking things.
Oh yeah.
Like all of the work isn't actually like designing it.
No.
Which, if you're good, how long does that really take?
Well, I will say for this, there was a lot going into it with designing it. Just because some of it is like brand new
See,
shit.
I feel like
that
the
hasn't been
majority
designed
of
before.
the cost goes to paying the Brian Sanderson or whatever his name is. Hey, can we license your characters so we can make this thing?
Well, so Brandon Sanderson, I think, is the one that
close.
You're close.
he partnered with them.
Oh, nice.
And he's been working with them to get all of this shit designed ahead of time.
That's pretty cool.
And then he was the one that posted it on his website, and so then it takes you to the link of it. So it's all like 100%
Approved by him.
approved and authentic for the book series, and exactly how he, as the writer, imagined it.
That's pretty cool.
Which does take a lot more time and shit, but like you can get like a cool ass thing like that, and it's a giant fucking mini. It's basically like a statue at that point.
that is pretty
Yeah, that's definitely a collectible. That's definitely a
That's
collectible.
But it's
$500.
$475. Fuck that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point
Is it
too.
painted?
Yeah, it comes painted.
I don't know. The majority of that paint looks just white, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's because they're supposed to be fighting
The
in a
cum
storm.
monster. Oh yeah. The cum monster
Yes,
from.
Jeffrey,
from
Oh, Curtis,
Which you
that
fuck
book
every
series?
day.
The gelatinous
no, it's the final boss of whatchamacallit. What is that one game that Nasti likes? Evil Within. Evil Within 2.
I was like-
the final bosses are come
I was like, what are you talking about? What's the fucking bejeweled hentai?
It's called Honey Pop. We've been over this.
Yeah,
Oh, I forgot we had an episode about this.
we did.
They were making fun of me at work. One of my coworkers was talking about that new Cyberpunk TV show. And he was like, "Hey, it's really cool. You should check it out. You do like it, Christian." And I was like, "I haven't seen an episode, but I already know it's really good." And they're like, "How do you know it's really good?" And I said, "Because there's a lot of porn out there for that game, for that TV show already."
You're like, I keep up with the porn
And I was
shit.
like,
There's no porn of the game. There's only porn for the
and
TV
my
show.
other coworker, he turned around and he was like, "What did you say?" And I was like, "You fucking heard me." And he was like, I had to make sure. And I was like, "Look, there was a direct correlation between how good a thing is versus how much porn there exists of it.
I don't think that's entirely true.
There is
I
a
think-
direct correlation.
Go ahead, name something then.
I think.
Yeah, name
you're-
something.
Overwatch.
Yeah,
Overwatch was not that
there
good
was
of a
so much
shit.
porn.
Exactly.
There's so much
with
porn in that.
Overwatch, I think the reason
Maybe
there's so
not.
much porn of that is because when they started making porn of it, the people that made the game were like, "Hey, we find this very disrespectful. Please stop." And then it just
No,
skyrocketed.
but not necessarily
That, and
good,
it's also
but
just like,
people like it.
it was-
a lot of people like it. Therefore, a lot of porn exists.
It's only because the models themselves were like hot, but they also made it to where the models were
Didn't
pretty
they
much.
didn't they take away the asses in Overwatch 2?
They did for.
I think they tried
So
to.
I think
in
everyone was
two,
just used to porn.
For
I think people
Overwatch
kind of
2
bitching
specifically,
about it.
because in Overwatch 1, the models that they used for the characters were put online, right? So all the SFM artists, right,
Oh, so they
were
already had
able
the
to
models.
use.
Oh, there you go.
Were able to use it, and so they also modified it and whatever to do that. But for Overwatch 2, they specifically made it because they didn't like the porn. They specifically made it to where the models are not available to take off online.
I mean,
and through
who
the
want them
files.
anyways? They don't have ass.
It doesn't matter because if
They
you
still look like
Okay,
Overwatch 1 models.
Winston's still pretty.
that's the thing because the models are exactly the same.
Yeah.
The models are exactly the same. The only thing that they changed is some aesthetics to them. For example, Diva is still flat on her butt in both Overwatch 1 and
Who
2.
the fuck is Dila?
She's the one with the mech.
the mech.
But with that
mech
said,
is not a hamster.
all the SFM artists are the one that inflate all of those portions of the models. So even if it's not like online, they could still make it.
Oh, they're gonna make it.
Because even if you
I
look
don't know. I
at
think a lot of it.
because
If
they
can
put
make money
Tracer.
off of it. They will make it.
Because even though Tracer has probably the most marketable ass out of all of them, her model's flat. Same thing with like all the other ones that aren't Widowmaker or fucking May, right? But
Bro, May is swathed in so much clothing.
I was gonna say,
like,
do we
doesn't
know if May is flat or not?
she's not, because there are some costumes that show her physique. But
I like how you took a second to think about the word.
Yeah, like, we're over here just saying ass and stuff, and just trying to be very polite.
No,
I
her physique.
I take it seriously. But yes. So those are the ones that they didn't do too much about.
Art, damn
The
it.
only thing that they ever did with Widowmaker for SFM is just make her boobs slightly bigger.
Let's see,
But,
what's the other one?
I don't know.
Oh,
My
no,
favorite
There's,
thing.
okay. There's not
I
a lot.
played Overwatch
There's not
for
a lot of
such a long
Splinter Cell
fucking
art,
time.
or at least if there is, I don't want to know.
I have absolutely seen Sam Fisher.
There definitely
split
is.
his arm. It's mostly Sam Fisher though.
It's
That-
mainly
that-
Sam
it is-
Fisher being
Okay.
gay, but yeah, getting sucked on in the dark or some shit. I don't fucking know.
I'm disappointed.
There's a lot of
Have
Metal
you
Gear
tried
stuff.
Overwatch
There's a lot of Splinter Cell.
I'm
stuff.
so
I know.
pissed off at it, but I haven't played Overwatch 1 in such a long fucking time that I have like no inclination to play it whatsoever.
If I don't like Overwatch 1, I'm not gonna like Overwatch
Yeah,
2.
Oh, you
because
know the best part?
The thing
They're
is that they're exactly the same.
Oh.
They're
that's
charging
which
for the
is so
single player
stupid.
campaign to Overwatch 2.
That too.
And
You
I
buy
heard
the
they-
game,
I heard
and then you
they
have to buy
change
the-
for anyone's cosmetics from 1 to 2,
Which is
so you
dumb.
have to re-unlock them or rebuy them. And
You
I was
also,
like,
Yes.
You also
Because,
have to
you know, there's
pay
no
to
account
unlock the
transfer.
Overwatch 1 characters.
huh?
I didn't even know.
You either have to pay or you have to play like over 100 hours to unlock the
At
Overwatch
this
1
point,
character.
because Blizzard's owned by whatchamacallit,
China.
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 Not just China, but there's a
China.
there's a bigger company
it's
that's owned by them now.
it's Huawei, which is the Chinese company.
Yeah, so, and they are fucking awful with having transactions and shit. So
They are. They're an
I'm
evil
not
company.
surprised at this
Yeah.
point.
We
that
should
they're
ban
doing
them
this
from
model
our
for me.
nation.
The
Hold on,
Chinese.
wait, I still play World of Warcraft.
I'm Chinese.
No.
Wait,
We're not Chinese. I was gonna say that's not Chinese.
I'm
Still
Chinese.
Blizzard, though.
It's Blizzard.
No, you're not. You're Jeff.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm
It's
Japanese.
Still,
Yeah.
World of Warcraft's still Blizzard, though.
World of Warcraft is Blizzard.
Well, I'm sorry, World of Warcraft, but you're going back to China.
I mean, I feel like
We're gonna build a
Warcraft is
wall.
not
At
doing
least
good.
wait until Classic is
I don't
out
think
of
it hasn't
Wrath
been
of the
good for a
Lich
long
King,
time.
okay?
So I feel like WoW has not been doing good for a very long time.
Oh, it did
Like,
wonderful when they
sucks
released
ass.
Classic.
Well, I'm sure because
Yeah, well, I
it was
mean,
actually
right
fun.
now they're on Wrath of the Lich King, so yeah, they're doing great.
But once they get past Wrath of the Lich King, it's all downhill again.
Look,
Cataclysm was okay.
That's the
Cataclysm
only,
was okay,
that's the
but
only,
after that was I
expansion
didn't like
that I
it.
know
That's
the
when
name
I
of.
left. Was
Yeah.
after Cataclysm.
Wait, you didn't stay around for Mr. Pandaria?
I did. I came back to Mr. Pandaria, and then I left again.
Yeah, exactly.
You know the best part?
Exactly.
What?
I've never played World of Warcraft, but I didn't know the expansion names.
I only know Ratchet the Lich King.
Well,
That's the main one that I
Yeah.
know.
That's what
Because
I
was still
came
playing when
into,
it came
yeah.
out.
I know Ratchet the Lich
Well,
King.
I
and
came into
know
Burning Crusade,
the Kung Fu.
technically.
I don't know the name of the Panda,
But
but I know.
Pandaria.
Miss Pandaria.
And then I came back for Shadowlands. Didn't
because
like
it came out right
left.
around when Kung Fu
I
Panda came
didn't
out.
come back for
I knew
Shadowlands.
that.
I didn't even
It was
come back. I
okay.
didn't come back for Mr. Pandaria either. I got back on WoW because I think Pandaria came out when we were still in high school,
Yeah.
and my grandmother called me and she was like, "Hey, Brandon is playing WoW and he wants to talk to you." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. That's.
Do you have his phone number? She was like, "No," and I was like,
Oh,
"So
perfect.
you're telling me I have to get on WoW
You have
to
to
talk to
log
my
it
brother?
on.
I haven't talked to him like 10 years." She was like, "Yes," and I was like, "I will go reinstall it."
You have to buy the new expansion in order to talk to
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Your
So that's
grandma-
If you're
why
not
I
willing,
played
if
Mr.
Oh,
you're not
Pandaria.
willing to drop $60,
That was
you
the
are
only
real
reason I
family.
played Mr. Pandaria was because of that.
Yeah, my brother's
That
just
was
wanted
it.
me to play again. That's why I got on. But I was just like,
Yeah, at the end of the
I don't
day,
like the pandas.
World
Your
of
that much.
brother
Warcraft,
was super
it's a
about
family.
that game, I remember.
Both my brothers.
It really is.
Now
and
they're
I have
now
your
they're
family.
into Guild Wars 2, but I don't like Guild
I
Wars
remember
2.
that you and Mason played the shit out of Guild Wars 2 for a while, and
It was okay.
I'm not a huge MMO person. Like, I'll play an MMO if I like the people I'm playing with, but I'm playing it for the people, not for the game.
I
you know?
play it to look at big titties, so that's why I'm playing.
Oh, so you played the
If I
Old
want to do
Republic.
that, there's many better places.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, I don't fucking know. I think Guild Wars 2 was okay for a while, and then there was like the first expansion that came out, which was like, I don't fucking remember what it
Wait a
was called.
second. MMO, titties. Do you play Genshin Impact?
Ew, that's not an MMO at all, though.
I don't know
I
what
have
the
no
fuck
idea
it
what
is.
it
My
is.
boss plays that.
All I know is like
All I
from Christian's metric, there is a shit.
There's a lot of
See,
porn, so people
but
like it.
that's a different thing.
I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah, it's
So
The
about
Christian
that,
metric.
about that, right? So they released a new Egyptian
We gotta put that
theme.
into some
They
mathematical
released a
writing.
new like Egyptian themed waifu in Genshin Impact, and I saw her, and then my first thought was, what Yu-Gi-Oh character is this? And then I was like, oh, it's from Genshin Impact. Okay, whatever.
Okay, so
And
you and me
my
had the same thought then. I thought it was Yu-Gi-Oh.
I thought it was Yu-Gi-Oh because it has like the Millennium Eye and like all the
Oh, yeah,
purple
yeah.
and gold
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
just
So I was
like
like, oh, it's
literally a raw
Yu-Gi-Oh
match.
character.
Because they ripped off. Because the Chinese are always ripping off the Japanese.
Anyways,
That's true.
And so the
Yes.
what is it? My boss comes up to me and he's like, "Yo, dude,
Even though
I just got a new
in ancient times it was the
I just got a
opposite.
new a Genshin Impact character," and I was like, "Oh, is it the Egyptian chick?" And he was like, "How did you know? Do you play Genshin?
No,
do you
just
secretly
seen her
play
titties."
Genshin?" And I was like, "Dude, no." She's been all over the internet. Like, I absolutely know exactly which character. Like, before it could even load on his thing, I was like, "Oh, is it the Egyptian one?" He's like, one, how did you know there was an Egyptian Genshin character? And two, yeah, it is.
That's
I was
so
like,
strange.
fucking 2 steps behind me, Louise. I already knew about that character.
Catch up.
Yeah.
It's like you see, you're trying to keep up on the game. I am
I'm
keeping
keeping up
up.
on the porn.
That's how it works.
Man.
And porn artists are fast too. They release a new hot waifu. Within like 2 hours, it's like, oh, here's a bunch of porn of her. And I was like, what the fuck? She just got announced.
Mhm.
So I've been with Pokemon.
They're making
every
money
fucking
off
time.
of it.
Yeah, when they announced the Giga Chad professor and the cave woman professor, immediately, bam, porn.
Immediately. It's true.
Didn't even know they announced either of those things.
It's okay.
Much
Speaking of
less that there's
porn,
porn about it.
Let me look up some non-porn for you, girl.
I would
porn.
prefer to not know anything about it, to be honest with
And
you.
say
You just have
search
to look-
on.
You just have to look up the Giga Chad new Pokemon professor.
No, thank you.
But Curtis, he looks like a Giga Chad.
Oh my god, he does!
every time he's on screen, it looks like the whole fucking plays just like some Giga Chad music.
I didn't even beat the previous games.
Doesn't it right? Like a fucking Chad. I see so many fucking memes of him side by side with the Chad memes.
The last one that I got on the fucking Switch, where it's like free roam and shit,
Oh, Sword
because
Shield.
because they gave me the capability to free roam, and I was like, I'm gonna walk the fuck around then. Like I don't know what you. Oh,
Fuck,
like,
you're right.
go
She
over
also
here.
kind of looks like a.
Yeah, well, I think that's the point. Is she is a cave woman.
Oh.
Or some, there's some
It
weird
is.
like
It's
time
it's
travel.
future versus what you call it?
Yeah, it's like some weird
Future
time
versus
travel shit. I
versus
don't care about
old,
it.
yeah,
Prehistoric versus future.
or
some
future
shit.
versus past or some shit. Because like even the two legendaries are like that too.
Oh yeah, it's just,
They're both bikes,
I fucking
but one of them
hate-
is a jet bike, and the other one is just a.
A bike?
No,
A
no,
bike?
no.
Not
It's
really.
worse than that. So both of them have this
I
like.
did hear people bitching about it.
Both of them have
like
like this pronounced like tire,
Mhm.
right? Or it looks like a tire. And the future one, it rides like a fucking like
bike.
motorcycle.
Yeah,
so that
like a
tire
motorcycle.
protrusion like actually spins. The past one also has that, but just runs on all fours.
It's so sick.
That's
I'm
what
like,
people were
what
bitching
the
about.
Fuck? Why?
Dude,
that is the only thing I heard about the games. People were like, "What the fuck is
That's
this?"
my favorite fucking thing because it reminds me of the Flintstones, and that's why I have that one pre-ordered.
Look, it has the fucking wheel protrusion, but it runs around on all fours. It pisses me off.
so awesome.
Is it more of like a traditional style Pokemon game? Or is it more
No,
like
it's
the other
it's
one?
more like Arceus.
Huh. Well, I never beat Arceus, so I don't think I'm gonna get it. 'Cause
It's
I'm
gotta
not gonna
be- it's-
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's so fucking dumb.
Like
Here's
the fact that they took out all Pokemon battles, well, most Pokemon battles from Arceus, made it a little disappointing.
what
I
are you
did
doing?
like having the battles.
Was that the one where you like throw rocks at Pokemon?
I don't think you could actually. Throw
You could
rocks.
do that in all of them. It's called the Safari.
That's true actually.
Okay.
Jeffrey just plays the Pokemon games to bully animals.
I do.
Rock Safari, he's like,
Rock.
fucking finally!
In the
Yes!
in original
500
Diamond
yen.
and Pearl, I
Rock,
spent so
rock,
much
rock.
fucking time in the Safari throwing shit at animals. So yeah.
And then he
You had
saves his game, walks outside, gets a fucking rock, starts pelting squirrels.
I have a bunch of straight
Wait a
guys.
second, I could do this in
You
real
got a
life.
wasp nest growing on top of your the front of your door.
Is it on the top right?
Yep.
Been there for about a year now.
Okay then.
You should just shoot it with the Stalt gun.
Yeah.
Was there a new wasp in it?
I don't know.
Because he can die. I got the wasp spray.
Well, and just in case, you might want to use your assault rifle.
I do have the shotgun. The little shotgun's supposed to kill him too.
Speaking of shotguns and making whatchamacallit
Puppy,
a
do not put
gunslinger.
your wet
Gunslinger
face onto my.
I know Mason isn't going to be here today,
Oh,
Yeah.
it's 1:30.
so we can go ahead and
Oh,
start.
what
Yeah,
was?
do we want to start or do we want to order any
Yeah.
food or what do we want to do?
Let's get food and start at the same time.
Okay.
Y'all can get food. I ate before I got here.
Okay. I mean, I ate around 8 o'clock, I
I'm
think.
not hungry right now.
9. Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's just start.
Okay.
Yeah, I was waiting until around 1:30.
All right. So first question: are we still level 10?
Yes.